Welcome to Chapter 3, Lesson 2, where we're going to learn how to create text on master pages. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have your last name, first name set up folder open. And it should look like this with your blue and yellow squares all divided by your guidelines. And then you're going to verify that the fill and stroke colors at the bottom of your tool panels are set to none. So right now you'll see my stroke has a black color, so I can open up my swatches and I'm going to set it to none. So now I have both my fill and my stroke set to none. Now I'm going to click on my type tool and then drag a small rectangle anywhere in the two rightmost columns above the two text frames that we already created. So we've got these two text frames at the bottom of the right hand screen. So we're going to go to our type tool, and then we are going to draw a text box above both of them. So it's going to go across two. Then we're going to click the selection tool and then drag the left handle of the frame so that it snaps onto the red vertical guide. Let's go into our selection tool. Clicking and dragging until it aligns with the red. Then we're going to drag the right handle of the frame so that it snaps to the edge of the document. Then in the width text box in the control panel, we're going to put it at 4.15 if it's not already at 4.15. And then we're going to click the bottom center reference point on the control panel and then enter 1.35 in the Y box. So bottom center in the reference panel, and then in the Y, 1.35. And if yours goes above the top of the panel, you can go ahead and just bring it down and make it match. Because then we're going to double check in the height column and make sure that the height column is 1.2. And actually it's going to bring it to the top of that guide. Now we are going to change or click on the type tool and then click inside the new frame and type the word location inside that new text box. So going back to our type tool, clicking within our text box and typing location in all caps. Then go ahead and highlight the word location, and I want you to go to your character panel. If you are in your Essentials workspace, you're going to have to go to Window, type in Table, and then Character. And you can also change this information from up top, but I like to have my character panel open. So I want you to change the font style to the Hobo Standard. Scrolling down until you see the Hobo Standard. Make sure that you have medium selected. And then for your type size, you're going to put 60. 60 and then enter. And then I want you to change your horizontal scale to 75%. So remember, these stretch them out horizontally or vertically. And I want you to do your horizontal scale to 75%. Okay, now we're going to click Control B, and Control B is going to be your friend for a lot of things working with text within InDesign. So we are going to hit Control B on our keyboard, and it's going to bring up our text frame options. We want to click on the Align List arrow and click Bottom, and then click OK. And now our text is aligned at the bottom of our text box. And then we also want to center this. So we can do that by coming up to our control panel, finding Align Center here on the right side, and aligning it to the center. Now we're going to use our selection tool, and we're going to press and hold Shift and Alt and drag and drop a copy of this text frame we've been working on. So we're going to go to our selection tool, hold Shift and Alt. Sorry guys. Okay, making sure we have the correct one selected. Now holding Shift and Alt and dragging that copy down. Okay, once you have your copy, you're going to click the Type tool and select the duplicate text and reduce its size to 24, and then type in day and date. So going to our selection tool, highlighting day and date, and then changing that size to 24 and hitting enter. Now we are going to click the selection tool and verify that the bottom center reference point of the control panel is selected. So selection tool, bottom center reference point. And then we're going to type in 1.75 in our Y box. And then we're going to type in 0.35 in the height box. And now we have a resized box at the underneath our text box we were working on. So go ahead and save your work now if you haven't saved in a while so you don't lose any of your work. And we're going to learn how to create automatic page numbers and insert white spaces in between characters. So now we're going to click on our Type tool and draw a text frame anywhere in the lower right hand corner of our spread. And then we're going to type 1.75 in the Y text, we're going to make sure that we have the width at 1.25 and the height at 2.5. So we need to go to our selection tool, make sure the width is 1.25 and the height is 0.25. Okay. Now we're going to position the text frame in the lower right hand corner of the spread, just inside of the margin guide. So going to our selection tool and just making sure that this lines up with our margin guides here in the edge. And just getting it as close as you can. Okay. Then we're going to type the word city in the text frame with no space after the word. So going to our Type tool, we need to click in our type box, and we're going to type the word city and make sure you don't put a space after it. Now you can choose any typeface or type font that you like, just so long as the word city still fits within our text box. So I'm going to choose Birch Standard, and then I'm going to change the font size to, nope, 25 is too big, to 20. And now it fits within my text box. Now we're going to make sure that our cursor is blinking after the word, and then we're going to come to our application bar, click Type, select Insert Special Character, and then we're going to select Marker, and then Current Page Number. And now you'll notice that an A is going to appear because we are on a master. So now we're going to click the cursor in between the Y and the A so that we can add some white space in between these two. So we're going to come back to our application bar, go to Type, go to Insert White Space, and then we're going to select EM space. And now there should be a space in between our city and our A. In the control panel, we're going to set the align to the right, and then we're going to hit Control B and make sure it is aligned to the bottom. So aligning it to the right, hitting Control B to open up that text frame option, and then align not to the top, but to the bottom. And then hit OK. You might see a more dramatic difference on yours if your text isn't so tall like the type that I picked. Now we're going to copy the selected text frame and then paste it in place. So going to our selection tool, doing Control-C, and then coming to the top of Edit and doing Paste in Place. So now we have an additional copy. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to come up to our reference points again, and we're going to make sure the bottom left reference point is selected. And then change our X value to 0.125. And then hit enter. And now we have a new text box over on the opposite side of the page. So we have one for each page on our master spread. We're going to reformat so that our A is actually in front of our city. So let's go ahead and go to our type tool, and we're going to highlight city and the space. We're going to cut that, and then we're going to go after the A and paste, and then come in between the C and the A, go to type, insert white space, and then insert EN space. Then we need to align it to the left, and then make sure by hitting Control-B that it's still aligned to the bottom, and then hit OK. So now we have it where we have A city and city A on either side of our spread. So go ahead and save your work, and we're going to create a new master page spread based on another master page spread. So I need you to open up your Pages panel and then go to your Pages panel option. Remember, our options buttons are always going to be in that top right hand corner with those lines. Right now you're going to see A master and then just the different spreads. And you'll notice that, that all of our pages have the same master spread as A master. So we're going to go to our options button and select New Master. We are going to click based on master list arrow and make sure that master or A master is selected. We're going to call it our prefix B, our name master, and the number of pages is going to be 2. So go ahead and click OK. And now you're going to see an icon that displays A and B. So right now we have B master selected, and you'll see B master at the bottom of the screen. Now we're going to double click on the words B master in the pages to make sure to view the B master page. So if yours isn't already active, you want to make it active. And we are going to cut it off there, and you need to go to Chapter 3, Lesson 2 from here. So save your work and go to the next video.